extraordinary high-profile music critic, after all.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
Yes, indeed. I can see we're settling in here very easily.
Are people coming in already?
Yeah,
What do they say?
17 people.
What do they
Good
say?
evening.
Hello.
So we should probably establish who we are, shouldn't we? Like, see her.
No, we are like not. It's not 7 o'clock yet.
Oh, okay. So for the moment, we're just guest stars with a warm up.
I do the. You pretend you're having a good time with me. No, I do this later.
Yeah, okay, yeah, do that. We're coming up towards 7 o'clock, and tonight's headline news is that Lambert is here today, and his brand new album is out. Yeah, so exciting day for you, Lambert.
It is. I need to get another drink. Wait, just have fun with the people.
Excellent. I wonder how the man can drink so much. Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of activity going by on the screen.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, okay, so Lambert has chosen wine. I'm sticking to traditional beer. Can't get too excited. What were you drinking earlier? Was it orange wine?
Yeah, it's like a hip thing. People do this in Berlin. They cannot decide between red wine or white wine, so
They go for orange.
My lawyer is coming. Thank you.
Excellent. Please don't sue me.
No.
I didn't say it. It never happened. Yeah, so we're going to be going like properly live at 7, I think.
Yeah. We're not talking yet. We're not saying anything exciting because we are waiting for people to come in, right?
No. This is just a conversation between friends, and please feel free to join in if you'd like to.
Yeah.
And obviously we are very old friends.
Well, yeah. I mean, friend is a term.
That you keep for your friends. Which I think is important because we need to maintain a professional distance.
In a way, yeah.
Absolutely. And also, you'd never be seen with anyone wearing a hat like mine, I suspect. Normally not.
Where did you get this?
The hat?
Yeah.
It's Canadian, as it happens. It's an heirloom.
An heirloom. That's like a brand.
No, an heirloom is something that is that you inherit from within your family.
Oh yeah.
And this hat belonged to my father, which he never wore. But it turned out that my head fitted it. So here I am today, fresh from the Canadian prairies.
Your father's head was too big.
No, his head was too big. Yeah, his head was definitely too big. That's a very attractive way of drinking.
Orange wine.
Orange wine. Yeah. Apparently, it costs more than €12 from Lidl. So I guess
my lawyer said €16. So
16.
Yeah.
18.
18.
18.
Yeah.
That is a good wine. That is a good
Has to be.
Yeah. What's the time now? We are not saying anything.
2 minutes.
No. We're not going to give away anything special until we hit that 7 p.m. Central European time point. Very important.
Can people see the donut place over there?
Okay.
No.
Cool glamour around here.
Just checking my horns for a second.
Yeah, I hate them for them to go floppy. Droopy, even. Yeah, no, they look quite erect now.
No.
Yeah?
Everything's gotta be perfect.
It has.
In life every day.
This must have been a really long day for you. I mean, a big day like album release day. Where are you up? Like
It's
4?
not an album release day.
Is it not? See, I've done my research.
The album is out already.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I only just got mine
Yeah,
today.
yes, okay.
So, I could have got it before.
You already thought that's the
Just
release day of the album.
Oh, I did. I thought like this was all just one big bang, like documentary.
Nicht mehr richtig.
It would be nice to have a label who's able to do that. Well, sorry. Hey, greetings to my label.
Exactly. And your lawyer.
It's my lawyer.
Yeah, he could be very useful very soon at this rate.
Okay, we are starting now.
Are we? Okay. So. Oh yeah. Do you want to do that bit?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So we're coming straight in here. Good evening and welcome to this special Lambert live stream. My name is Wyndham Wallace, and I am a very serious professional music critic with lots of very important opinions about stuff. And I'm based here in Berlin, where I am about to interview Lambert as he premieres a documentary about the source of the music behind his new album, Actually Good. Now, as many of you will know, but perhaps not all of you, its pieces were originally written for a British TV show, The Stranger. So since we've only got half an hour before the premiere of this documentary, I'm going to leap straight in. And in case you don't recognise him, this is Herr Lambert, who's come all the way to be here from just around the corner, without trousers, it seems. Actually, I should call you Detective Lambert, I think, but we'll get onto that soon. So, how are you this evening? Are you excited about this?
I'm very, very excited and nervous, and I must say, I love my audience.
I love your audience too.
Yeah, yeah.
They are full of love.
Somebody told me that's important to say at the beginning.
Yeah. So
Just a big hugs
Yeah.
to all of you out there. Really, I love you guys.
So to be clear, he's not breaking it, and he loves his audience. So what we're about to see is a documentary about the making of The Stranger, for which the music from Actually Good is taken.
Yes.
So I got to start with a serious question. Have you always wanted to write a score for TV or film?
I mean, I do it. I would like to quote Armin Müller-Stahl from Night on Earth, who says, like, money is not important, I need it. Which is kind of the essence of everything. I mean, I can do it. You know, usually when I do scores, somebody says like, can you write something, and I write some music to it, and then they
Which
say,
must be a relief.
yeah, then they say things like, oh, that's so great that because you got the humor at the right spot and the right emotions in the right spot, and this is not intentional. I just make music. The most important thing is that it's paid well. I mean, it's a job, and especially in this case, it started with just a plain offer, good money, and some pieces of M&Ms.
M&Ms?
Yeah.
Really? What was so special about the M&Ms?
Well, the offer came with a letter and a little package of salted caramel, the blue packaged M&Ms.
Really?
And I couldn't say no, because this is like unusual to get an offer with like sweets. So I was from the beginning on. I was like, okay, I would probably have to take this seriously.
Yeah, that would tip anyone over the edge, I think. I mean, if I had a couple of salted caramel Kit Kats, would you write a soundtrack for me?
Well, I mean, it's not only Kit Kat; it's also a bunch of money.
Oh, okay. So I would have to have money.
Well, that would be useful. I wouldn't write anything for just Kit Kats.
No. And unlike me, who's doing this interview for free.
But thanks to Kit Kat and M&M's and for the 6-digit amount they are putting on our account now, that's great. Thanks. Greetings to our friends in the industry. Yeah.
So I do have to ask though, like, why did they pick you for this film? I mean, was the director like a big fan of yours, or had he just seen Broadchurch and thought he wanted this year's Olivia Arnold?
Yeah, imagine if he had Olaf there. Do you think he would ask him the same? I mean, eventually I was asked to play the lead character, even though at the beginning I was only asked to play to compose music for that. And I think, yeah, he probably thought Olafur was too expensive, because he's much more expensive.
Yeah, and there's an extra zero, I think.
Yeah. And so he thought, then I go for Lambert, because there was someone in the team who later becomes an important role, Tom Greetings, who recommended me, brought me into the game. He said, like, he's a brilliant composer, and he's not as expensive. So yeah, he sent me the M&Ms and an offer, and that was an offer I couldn't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was the question again?
Oh, I've forgotten what it was as well. It was about 15 minutes ago. Days, even. It could be. Okay, so let's just talk about the film itself. I mean, the script was based on a series of murders in the UK around 20 years ago, I believe, early 20th century. And the killer had a particularly unusual name given to him by the media that sort of indicates the strange circumstances of his crimes. Had you heard about these murders at all in the past, and can you tell us a little bit more about what the story was?
Not really, because now I did a lot of interviews already for this album, which is out already. Actually, good, really good album. Actually good. And I learned now that there are several similar cases. Also, it might have been inspired by a case in Florida where actually the ice cream man murders also were taking place, but I think in that case the ice cream man seller was the victim. Not the victim, was the one who was killing people, and he hid his weapons in the ice cream van. And in this case, it's a little different. He's like the victim, and there's a murderer running around to kill ice cream. I don't know. I don't really follow. What is it called? True crime.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's nothing nice in like real events, like especially if they are connected to violence. So
And yet you decided to take part in this film as the
I
star.
mean, it was an offer to be an actor. I mean, how could I say no?
Yeah.
I mean,
You've always been the kind of person who likes to hide behind a mask, right? I mean, just being able to act.
right. I mean, I felt my lawyer saying something. Wyndham louder.
Okay, I can certainly get louder. Trust me. Is that better? All right. Do tell us.
Where were we?
Somewhere else.
Uh,
Why did you want to act? I don't know.
the acting thing.
Yeah.
No, it was just a good challenge. It was about time to try something else. I felt that. And anyway, I didn't feel so far away from being an actor because that's what I do anyway. I mean, I wear a mask, and it's very obvious when I go on stage that this is kind of a role I play. So I felt like, yeah, obviously he saw that in me, and I felt like, yeah, of course, if he sees me being an actor, then I probably am an actor. I should just take the offer. It was the worst decision of my life in the end, but at that beginning I was quite excited about it, yeah.
Did you have a special affinity as well with ice cream?
I mean, ice cream is a very, it's said in the movie later, it's a very controversial but also universal topic because everyone likes ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next live stream will be specifically only about ice cream, I think. Because there will be a next one, obviously. So let's get serious again, because it's important to be serious about music like this. You actually had to work originally when you wrote the script, wrote the music. I think you worked from the script only, is that right?
I got a really weird letter from this guy, let's call him Matt.
He'd love that.
Yeah, let's call him Matt. And he, in the beginning, he was communicating with me through letters and packages, and he sent like a printout. Obviously, he owns a very bad old printer, and I received we say in German a DIN A4 page. I don't know how you say that in English, but like this.
A4.
A4. The A4 page was very bad printouts that were supposed to tell me what kind of atmosphere I was. I had to focus on when I wrote the music, because there were no pictures yet. There were no film footage yet, because that was supposed to take place later, because his idea was to take the music on set and let the people be inspired by the music, which is not unusual. I've heard that happen sometimes with weird directors. But yeah, and what I got was the A4 printout with very, very bad resolution pictures of, I guess, haze, and he was like writing some very bizarre words on it, like depressed atmosphere or weird detective alcoholic, and like this kind of to get me in the mood, and then you see all the kind of hazy pictures, and that was like the basic of my inspiration. That what it was supposed to be, and I wrote music with that in mind, and he didn't like it at first. I mean, I delivered it, and he said like, I didn't like it, but that actually was quite good music. It was actually good.
Yeah.
But it was, I had to really then, because feedback is always terrible for musicians. I don't know how it is for.
That's why you stopped playing guitar.
For journalists, I can play very well guitar.
Okay.
We can hear it on the record, actually. I don't know if I don't want to talk to you about my guitar playing anymore.
No, that's not why anybody's here. Let's be fair. There must have been a moment, I would imagine, when you started sort of trying to envisage this soundtrack, and perhaps a moment hit you, like a melody, something. Was there any crucial sort of moment in time when that happened with you?
While I was producing the music.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever sort of come up with a melody which you just thought was so special that you couldn't?
I had like a thing in mind. I might maybe phrase it with I have it for a little instrument. I had a phrase in mind when I looked at the A4. The very first thing I was like, I thought like I have to be very what you call it, intuitive. Spontaneous, and I had like a melody like. Wait, it's wrong. And I thought it was a brilliant idea.
It does. I mean, it really. It takes me straight to so that hazy atmosphere that you were talking about.
Yeah, and especially with the instrumentation. Yeah. I thought it was great, and Matt didn't like it. And also in that, I gave him some credit because the harmonica was a bad idea in the end, and I took it off the record when I brought it out.
I'm not sure.
But that was like the very first idea.
Daylight come and I wanna go home back.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was familiar. Let's talk about the director for a moment, because obviously he's quite crucial to this story. His name, I believe, is Matt Rennie.
Wait. His name, let's call him Matt, because I would really like we have now 15 minutes left, and I would really sometimes like to talk about him very badly and use words.
Okay.
What is it?
It's great.
Words.
Words.
Oh yeah, no, we've got longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lawyer just told us.
And the lawyer tells, yeah. So, and I really wanted to use names and talk badly about him, and so I would really prefer not to use his real name. So let's just call him Matt. He's called Matthew, but he really didn't like it. You can see that in the movie later when you would call him Matt. And isn't it? I mean, you are like an Englishman, right?
Yeah.
And
and German, just to be clear.
And
it's very important to me.
But every Matthew in the UK can be called Matt, right?
Yeah, in Australia it's Maddie, but in Britain I would say generally it's Matt. I mean Matthew. I mean that's.
He got completely choleric about that when we called him Matt.
Okay.
I thought it's a normal thing, and I really hope that he watches this now and let's just call him Matt.
Yeah.
And other names, but not the full name and not the last name.
Yeah.
And my lawyer said that.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. Presumably we can delete that in the edit. Oh no, live. Okay, so Matthew. No, which is it? Matt.
Matt.
Yeah, sorry. So Matt used to have a bit of a reputation for being difficult. Had you heard any stories previously about his behaviour on set, for instance?
Yeah, I've heard several stories. Like the one he did a pirate movie, and he used like real cannonballs, not fake ones, which apparently on set lead to the fact that a lot of people were leaving the set because they thought it was too dangerous. Then he had like a kind of a Titanic movie, but with a submarine. So a submarine is already under water, right? And he wanted to let the underwater thing even sink more underwater. That was a stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, but
what he wanted to do is like he wanted to shoot the whole movie on a submarine while it is underwater, and he had which was very expensive because I mean of course you can just use Bavaria Film Studios or something. They did this with what is the famous U-boat film called from
Das Boot?
Das Boot. Yeah. So it was already there, but he wanted to real submarine, and he had a little room on the submarine where he sometimes would rest. You know what he was listening to there?
Herbert Grönemeyer.
No, Yellow Submarine.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
Of course he was. Yeah.
It's true.
On a loop.
On a loop, like
24
constantly.
hours. Okay.
You know the tune?
Yeah,
It's really good.
Perhaps I can get a copy after this. Who wrote it?
The Rolling Stones.
Ah, yeah. You know, so, I mean, in the documentary itself, Matt's assistant Becky calls him a genius.
No,
Which,
that's not it. He's an idiot.
he's an idiot. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. I mean, that's like a problem with you journalists. You know, take any stupid idea, and
That's
go
genius.
and go for it. And some journalists will write that's genius, and then of course, some people like Becky. I mean, she's an actress. You don't use that.
I think we go with actor these days.
Um,
Gender neutral.
she's an actor, and she's just being. She just says what she's being told. I mean, that's what actors do.
Yeah.
You know. But so I don't know. No, it's really. I mean, no. Just because you go for stupid ideas, you cannot call someone. You guys should stop that. Go for the. I mean, you know, for example, you have Lambert. I mean, I have great ideas, and I don't mind being called a genius for that.
Yeah, but you've done nothing to draw attention to yourself.
No, I would never do that. You know how much I hate attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing about you at all ostentatious. Never has been.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, Matt was certainly spontaneous, I think, and I think a guy called Chris, who you can see in the documentary later on, he was actually originally the cameraman, but he became a key actor. Did this kind of out of the box thinking, did it make things more exciting or more chaotic?
It just annoyed everyone because I mean, for so many reasons. I remember a situation. I came to very first day, I think I came to set, and there was a lady selling coffee. Matt said like, I don't like the way she's selling coffee. So could you ask that guy? And then someone had to explain to him, yeah, but that guy, yeah, he's not from the film crew. He's like just someone who's taking out trash in this building. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. Can you just ask him selling coffee for us? And then they had to do it for him. This was like, it was constantly like this. He would change the positions. Like there was a guy for BTS. You will see that in the movie also. Who
BTS meaning behind the
behind
scenes.
the scenes.
Yeah.
Who was like he was supposed to take footage, and when he came to set, Matthew was like, this guy is great. We need him for the role of the murderer. So the great actor who was actually already, I guess he must have been paid already. He was out. And the most horrible thing is actually that we had there was a scripted car chase scene. I mean, every crime drama needs a car chase scene.
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was really looking forward to that. And in the very end, like the day before we had to shoot that, he said like, let's just use scooters. You know, but scooters where you have to like
Pedal
pedal
with your foot,
yeah,
yeah.
with your own foot. And that was much more. This was much more dangerous because I think in a car chase scene. I mean, I'm not a professional actor, but I think that's just happens in the studio, and you can concentrate on your acting. And there I mean, it was very dangerous because there was a trolley in front of me, a trolley behind me, and
Shopping trolley.
with cameras.
Ah, right.
So you couldn't be too fast, you couldn't be too slow because then. Anyway, then we would go to the park, and there was like a Puddle of Mud. That was a band in the 90s, right? Puddle of Mud. You remember that? Puddle of Mud.
Yes, with a double D, in mud as well as puddle.
Yeah, the Puddle of Mud, but it was like a really bad, really crossover band, like from the late 90s.
Sort of crossover. Yeah.
Anyway, there was
Sorry,
a
I'm a music critic with,
Yeah.
with professional opinions.
and I got stuck in that mud and fell down and broke my rib eventually. And that was actually the moment where I thought it's time to leave. But Matt loved that scene. He said like, finally, you got it. That was great acting. And I was just screaming like hell because it hurt really bad. I could like finish that shooting day, but in the night, because have you ever had it? It doesn't hurt like that bad immediately, but like a few hours later, you can't move, you can't laugh, you can't cough. it's really bad. And that was actually in the night. I was lying in the hotel room and yelling his name to the ceiling, and I felt like I should.
His full name or just Matt?
Mad,
Yeah.
just mad. And then I went home.
I mean, I do have to ask you one sort of question, which is, you know, he wanted you to play the detective in this extraordinary show, and yet you went in as Lambert. I mean, how did they explain the mask?
It didn't need to be explained.
No, people just took it in their stride.
I mean, it was a movie. I mean, there was no scene where I didn't see that it's something in the script where like someone would explain why I wear a mask. It was just that for people in the movie, it was the reality. Of course, that he's wearing.
Yeah.
The lead character needs a mask, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious, really.
I like that. I mean, he had some great ideas, and I mean, of course, he had also the great idea asking me to become an actor. I mean, I like that about him, but
nothing else.
Nothing else. No, he's
Yeah.
a horrible person. He's really horrible.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually making me feel a bit sad thinking about it, to be honest. But could you tell me a little bit about, you know, maybe the first day you arrived on set? What was the atmosphere like when you got there? Was it all feel good? Everyone was excited to see you?
It was already bad, and his choleric. Wie nennt man das? Cholerischer Wutanfall.
His fits, his choleric fits, his bursts of anger, his.
Yeah,
his
they
athlete's
started
foot.
from minute one. They
Right.
started from minute one. And you also see, it's so great that we have this footage of when you can actually see him in like losing it in a scene because he's like so disappointed by the character he casted, who was also not a professional actor. I just said like who was actually just responsible for the behind the scenes shots. And then he's disappointed about that guy that he doesn't act the way he wanted. I mean, how stupid.
Yeah.
It's really stupid. I'm sorry. Then just go for the professionals. I mean, you have to work with what you get in a way. I mean, that just seemed weird. And he was annoyed by a bench that was like fixed there. That was like there from the beginning on. He was like, this is fucking viewing gallery. That's gotta be us. You are not an actor, right? You are not. You are so cheap. It's like this kind of tone all the time.
Was that?
And I've heard that can be quite normal on set. Also in Germany, we have a very famous director. I don't want to use his name because my lawyer says like I shouldn't use his name because then you get
Sued.
sued or immediately. But there was a big case where a lot of people were complaining about that this was actually normal reality also on German film sets. That some people are always yelling and screaming and
Yeah. Bullies.
drinking a lot of alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, alcoholic bullies.
Yeah.
By the way, was that meant to be an English accent? Earlier on?
Sorry?
Was that meant to be an English accent?
Which one?
The one you did earlier when you were doing the director, like losing his temper. Was that really an English accent?
I'm not able to do an English accent.
Well,
I can do German accent.
Yeah, well, obviously, but you know, just don't bother with the English one again. Doesn't really work. Sorry.
I didn't know that I was trying to do that.
No. No.
Weird.
A little bit of tension in the air, I detect.
We have 5 minutes left.
We only have 5 minutes left. Oh my goodness me, I've been rushing through this. Well, I mean, I've got to be honest, like, I don't want to reveal the documentary's extraordinary ending. But would you say that by the end of making this film, you were traumatized?
Yeah, I did a lot of therapy actually to cope with what was happening. And the great thing is when my therapist discovered when I wear the mask, because he said like I should also wear the mask in therapy sometimes, because then he could like act as mad
Mm-hmm.
to overcome the trauma, and I can be myself. And there was a difference when I revealed the mask. I was really, I was crying a lot. I got really scared. And when I was wearing the mask, I could talk about it more freely and laugh about it. And I have kind of a humorous distance to what was happening. So I guess the mask is still helping me to cope with what was happening there. But yeah, it needed a lot of therapy to cope with
I'm sorry.
what's happening. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Really. I'm sorry.
yeah, thank you.
I mean, I'm not quite sure how to follow that. But I think you probably need to just briefly tell us a little bit about Tom Oxenham, who was on set, and he's,
Yes.
he's responsible for tonight's documentary, right? Can
Right.
you tell us a little bit about how this whole thing came about?
I think Tom was in the team of the production company. I don't know what his exact role was. I think he was kind of responsible, or like the right hand of the director. He was responsible for taking care of all the footage that was collected. So that was the great thing. He kind of had it in one point. He was collecting it from the different cameras. So and I was working with him before. He also made the suggestion of having me as a composer. So that was the connection, and in the end we could, I don't know how actually that worked, my lawyer can maybe tell you that, how we actually made it happen, that we could actually get most of the material that was shot in the movie. The movie was never finished.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever see it, luckily. But
I think it's tragic.
yeah, well, I don't think so. It's really bad, and you will see that. But the footage that we have of, you know, that kind of transports the story of this big failure was actually just kept through Tom, who he had all the footage and he made it actually happen. He's a great guy. Tom Oxenham, really good. Thanks for making this happen. It became actually, this is like the documentary about it is actually good. I mean, it's actually almost as good as the music.
I mean, your acting's actually good.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, it's probably good.
I mean, if somebody were to offer you another role, would you take one? As an alcoholic detective or anything indeed?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to talk to my lawyer now before I give this answer, because something has to be clear in the contract before I say yes. Like no yelling at the set and no choleric
Fits.
Fits. You have a funny language.
I do. You have a funny face.
Yeah, I know.
You probably need salted caramel, or have you moved on to other forms of chocolate now?
I mean, no, I go for any kind of chocolate. Or try it with ice cream.
Ice cream, yes, all pertinent, which is a very good way of kind of almost bringing this to a close. But I do want to ask you before we go, would you ever work with an Englishman again?
I myself feel.
I'm
like,
referring to the director, not myself, to be clear.
But I love Englishmen. I sometimes when I'm in New York, I feel like an Englishman in New York myself, and I'm signed in England. Like I love everything about England besides mad.
But yeah, that seems like a reasonable response.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like Boris Johnson would be a vast improvement on him.
Politics. I prefer Boris. That's got to be out. My lawyer says no politics.
No politics. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Do I still get? No,